I'm in red form, in a red state, such a red case on a red song. In a shared space with my shareholders, cause we share a bond. Spiritual healthcare, that's real self-care, you won't care for.
I got my Mets hat on to the back. Y'all already know where we going with the stats.
Any artist that's talking garbage and try to curse us, y'all follow a wave and do whatever's current. I follow his ways, I know my turn is coming.
Welcome to New York Giants Full Access.
What's going on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all platforms? Welcome to another episode of New York Giants Full Access with your boy BigPatssportsTalk. Or should I say the delusional dummy that a lot of people call me on Twitter. Me and the Big Blue Crew, Lou, G Nation Inside Sports, Classified 3F with Joe. Go subscribe to those wonderful gentlemen. We formed the Big Blue Crew. Many members. You can check it in the little advertisement at the bottom right. So the DJ detractors, the DJ's not it. The DJ is mediocre. DJ should not be paid crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe they're king when it comes to normal content creators. Mr. Online Big Blue Tim Sports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a reaction. I'm going to let Mr. Online Big Blue talk, and we're going to talk about some things. So let's do it. Let's get into this. Let's get into it, man.
This always equates, will the Giants re-sign Daniel Jones? Will they bring back Daniel Jones?
Answer is yes.
Should they bring back Daniel Jones? Should they bring back Daniel Jones at $30 million? I'm telling you this. The kid from Duke, in my mind, should have gone to Notre Dame because he got the freaking luck of the Irish. Because of the fact that you have a season where you barely throw for 3,000 yards, you barely throw for 50 touchdowns. Yeah, you rush for 700, but you are, if you were to sit there and say, was Jones a deciding factor in all these games? No. Was Jones the factor that we won certain games, one or two games? Yes.
So let's go through it. Was Daniel Jones a deciding factor against the Titans? He was one of the main factors, him and Saquon Barkley. So let's say 50% DJ, 50% Saquon Barkley. Although Daniel Jones threw for 2 touchdowns in that game, Saquon Barkley rushed for over 100 yards of a touchdown in that game. But, hey, let's take away everything Daniel Jones did in that game and just let's say Saquon Barkley did it. Yeah. Okay, the next week, who did we play the next week? The Panthers. So Daniel Jones didn't have anything to do with the Panthers in winning that game. He wasn't a deciding factor in that game. Saquon Barkley did everything in that game too, even though when you look through the game, he had multiple third down conversions that kept drives alive in order to get down there and score some points in order to win the game. Okay, week 3 against the Cowboys. Was Daniel Jones not the only thing you looked at and say, man, this dude is really trying to win? Saquon Barkley had a rushing touchdown in that game. He was trying to win as well. Okay, let's go against the Bears. He was the only guy that scored touchdowns in that game. He was the only guy that scored a touchdown in that whole game on both sides. Let's go with the Packers. The most crucial drive of that game, Saquon Barkley was out. Let's go against the Ravens. He let it come back against the Ravens. We got a turnover at the end of the game. We turned over Lamar Jackson, and we won that game. But wasn't he the one that threw the touchdown to Bellinger to keep us in that game? Yeah. Let's see who was after that. The Jaguars. I think he was pretty damn good in the Jaguars game. That wasn't just Saquon Barkley. The Seahawks. Where was Saquon Barkley in that game? The Texans. He had 30 carries for 100-something yards. Okay, let's give him the Texans, even though Daniel Jones threw a touchdown in that game, and him and Slayton were balling that game. Okay. The Lions. Where was Saquon Barkley that game? Yes, Daniel Jones is probably his worst statistical game because he threw 2 of his interceptions. He almost threw half his interceptions in one game. Let's go with the tie against Washington. It was a tie. And Daniel Jones did his thing in that game. Where was Saquon Barkley that game? Let's go against, well, the second Cowboys game. Where was Saquon Barkley that game? Washington. Where was Saquon Barkley that game? The Eagles. Where was Saquon Barkley that game? Let's see. After the Eagles, then it was the Vikings. If I can remember, Daniel Jones led us to tie the game at the end of the game, but the defense let a last-second field goal happen. But was that all Saquon Barkley? Yes, he had that run on 4th and 2, but who was getting us down the field the whole game? It was Daniel Jones. He had one of his best games of the season against the Colts. He had 4 touchdowns against the Colts. And he had, I think, more, if not more, rushing yards to Saquon Barkley in that game. So I don't know, Mr. Online 10 Big Blue. You tell me, brother.
But for him to have this type of year, and for people to say it's a contract year, it's a year that is putting him in the stratosphere, is fucking it's ludicrous. It's ludicrous.
Man, spit out your words, man. Spit the chip out. What you stuttering for, brother? Spit the chip out. Come on, man.
It truly is. Now, Mike Too Nice sent me something. I'm always wondering, is Mike really too nice? We're going to find that out because I think we're going to be doing a podcast with him coming up soon. But he sent me something comparable. He sent me the statistics from the 2017 Tyrod Taylor Buffalo Bills playoff run and Daniel Jones' stats. Tyrod was 8-6, Daniel Jones 8-6-1. Jones was a 67% completion percentage. Tyrod.
No, Daniel Jones was actually 9-5-1 because he didn't even play week 16, so he was 9-5-1. Get that correct. Tyrod Taylor went 8-6, 67 completion percentage for DJ, 62 for Tyrod Taylor. Jones threw for 400 more yards, rushed for 300 more yards, threw 1 more passing touchdown and 3 more rushing touchdowns. 5 game-winning drives to 2. QBR of 60.4. Tyrod Taylor 50.6. He had LaShawn McCoy and Charles Clay. That's who they put up there. I have to see the other receivers. But we had Saquon Barkley and Richie James. Taylor threw 1 less interception. And everything else is around the same. But the question is, was Tyrod Taylor playing to prove that he was the franchise QB that year, or was he just a filler until the next year when all those quarterbacks came out in 2018 with Josh Allen, with Josh Rosen, with Baker Mayfield, with Josh Allen, Josh Rosen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, and Lamar Jackson. Now, who was the class when Daniel Jones... Who was the class this year in Daniel Jones' year before he had this year? It was Pickett, Malik Willis, Desmond Ridder, all those guys. And only one guy went in the first round. That was the bottom of the first round. That was Kenny Pickett. All those other guys that you guys were clamoring for, they go to the late 3rd round. This is the same guy that told you Malik Willis should have been picked number 5. Willie Beeman. Remember when he played you guys and played and pandered to you guys and told you everything about Malik Willis? But I was destroyed. Joe was destroyed. Lou was destroyed because we said Malik Willis was not a first-round quarterback and he's nowhere near ready to be a professional quarterback yet. The same Malik Willis that was benched for Dobbs because the Titans believed Dobbs gave them a better chance to win. But okay.
Taylor 62. You can see this all on the screen because we're visual now. Jones threw for 3,205 yards. Passing yards for Tyrod 279, 227. Can't even talk today. 2,799. We had 120 rushing attempts for Jones. And let's see, the yards where I can't. He doesn't have the yards listed. Oh, he does have the yards. We have 84 rushing attempts for Tyrod Taylor. The rushing yards is 427 for Tyrod, 708 for Jones. And people will sit there and say his top receivers for Jones were Barkley, Richard James, and the top receivers for Tyrod Taylor were LaShawn McCoy and Charles Clay. Charles Clay. What is wrong there? There's something very wrong here. It's the same. It's not the same, but it's very similar statistics with the same type of offense, with the same type of weapons. The big difference is the yards per attempt is 5.9 for our wonderful Daniel Jones and 6.7 for Tyrod Taylor.
No, it's 6.8 for Daniel Jones. It's 6.7 for Tyrod Taylor. See, don't get it twisted, man. Don't let these dudes fool you. He said the 5.9 because it was less than the 6.7 to try to make his argument better. But if you look at the top of the screen, it's 6.8 and 6.7 for Tyrod Taylor. It's 5.9 yards per rush to 5.1 yards per rush for Tyrod Taylor.
Now, they'll say that he has 5 game-winning drives. 2 of those game-winning drives he did not throw. He threw 1 pass in the fourth quarter. 1 pass in 2 of those games. In one game, he didn't throw any passes. And Tyrod Taylor had 2 game-winning drives. So what is the difference between mediocrity and Tyrod Taylor in 2007 and Daniel Jones?
That means he doubled the amount of game-winning drives that Tyrod Taylor did, sir.
Jones is spectacular. $30 million season. There is no difference. It's mediocre in 2007. It's mediocre play now. Now, I see stupid things on Twitter. So I always love Twitter. I see stupid shit on Twitter. And the Twitter is, well, what else are we going to do? What do you mean, what else are we going to do? Well, what other options do we have? You have the draft. You have free agency. You have the trade market. People are like, well, we're picking 25th. We can't get a quarterback that low. Really? Russell Wilson? I don't remember where he was taken. Where did Purdy go? I don't remember where he was taken.
So he's going to tell you Russell Wilson and Brock Purdy. Well, let me tell you something. Russell Wilson came into a situation where he was playing with the Legion of Boom. What is Russell Wilson looking like now after he left the Legion of Boom? Why did Pete Carroll want to get rid of him? Why those guys all in the Seahawks don't talk to him? Why are they telling people that, hey, he was pushed up to be this media darling when it really wasn't the case? Then you're going to bring up Brock Purdy. You know Brock Purdy is playing with the San Francisco 49ers that has Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, Jennings, McCaffrey, Elijah Smith, one of the best offensive lines in football and the best defense in football on the other side. But we'll continue on.
Where did Mahomes go? The Bills traded up in 18 to get the venerable Josh Allen. They traded up.
And what was Josh Allen before they got Diggs and everybody, since you want to bring up Josh Allen? Josh Allen was nothing like he is now until those boys came over there. Remember, he never threw for a 300-yard game, and he never had a 4-touchdown game until those boys came over. And that defense was very good while he was there. Never completed 60% of his passes, as a matter of fact. And his stats to Daniel Jones' first 2 years, who had completely nothing around him, Daniel Jones' stats are actually right there with his.
Giants traded up to number 1 overall, technically, to get Eli Manning.
Yeah, we were at pick number 4, sir. We moved up 3 spots, and then Phillip Rivers was right there as well. Come on, bro. And we had to give up a boatload to move up 3 spots. So you trying to tell me that we can move up from 25 to 10 and not have to give up a boatload to get up there? Come on, man. Be logical, bro. And let this dude tell you about the quarterbacks that's coming out. Since he's saying that we could just get any quarterback and put out there. What's his knowledge on the quarterbacks coming out this year?
But that's okay. Because you can't do anything like that. Because if you question this and you say anything to certain Giant fans, they get so upset. No, you can't do that. You're mortgaging the future. When the Giants mortgaged the future to get Eli Manning. Sean Merriman, of course, went to San Diego. Mr. Lights Out played Lights Out for a couple years before drugs and other things kind of derailed his career. But when you did all that, you got your championship quarterback. You got the guy that was going to bring you into the next level. You got him.
Yeah, but talk about the things that were put around Eli for us to get there, sir. You make it seem like these quarterbacks just come here and they just play with trash and just ball out. No, that's not the case. You have to build a team around someone in order for them to be successful. Come on, man.
And I think that Shane is smart enough to understand that if you don't do this, if you don't make a move, if you commit this much money to one guy who had an average season at best, and if you cannot look at yourself in the mirror to say this is average, you don't know what you don't know what you're talking about in reference to ranking quarterbacks.
What type of stats was Daniel Jones supposed to put up with those type guys around him? I always ask these questions to these guys who just come out here and just want to bash, mediocre. Name a quarterback out there that has a similar weapons to Daniel Jones and going through the similar situation as Daniel Jones, and tell me who was out there balling. Tell me who was out there balling. Was it Justin Herbert? No, he came in with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry, Austin Eckler. Was it Patrick Mahomes? No, he had Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, McCole Hardman, Andy Reid as his coach with a damn good scheme. Was it Joe Burrow? Hell no, he came in with T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, Uzama, and Mixon, and then got Jamar Chase the very next year. Was it Josh Allen? You can try to say that, but he wasn't balling until when Diggs and them got there. And now they're even saying that Josh Allen needs more. Was it Aaron Rodgers? No, he came in with Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Donald Driver. What's the tight end that got hurt over there? A very good tight end and a good running back. Name the quarterback that came in with just pure trash and was just throwing up major numbers. Name one. Name one. There is only one, and that's Andrew Luck. That's it. This superhero quarterback that you're looking for, it's not it, bro.
And the option of, well, there's nothing else out there and there's nothing else we can do, so what else can we do, is one of the stupidest arguments I have ever heard. There is multitudes of things to do. The 49ers went from Trey Lance to Jimmy the Garoppolo to then Purdy. They found something to do. They found something to make it work.
You know why it works, sir? It's because of the squad that's around them. Look at that squad with the 49ers. You tell me what quarterbacks couldn't go over there and succeed. Please tell me. Come on, man. If you got any type of talent over there with the 49ers, you are going to succeed, brother. You got a dominant running game. You got Deebo Samuel, IU, and George Kittle. With the backup running back to Christian McCaffrey and Mitchell and Jennings as a slot receiver. Come on, man. Tell the whole truth.
Just because you think there are not options available does not mean there's not something out there.
What is that something? Everybody just tells you, oh, there's something out there. You get who is it? Who is it? Is it Jameis Winston? Is it Carson Wentz? Is it Matt Ryan? Who is it? Is it Baker Mayfield? Who is it? You tell me. Who is it?
And Shane probably knows this. And Shane is probably going to look at it. Now, I've said this before, and we'll put the numbers in. Let's just say, for argument's sake, and it's going to probably be a little bit. Let's say the Giants have $60 million in cap space. I've seen the things where people are like, well, we're going to give Daniel Jones 14, and then we're going to extend it out over 3 years, and we're only going to make. No. You're going to have to give him bonus money. Most players want their bonus money up front. But let's just say, for argument's sake, with the bonus money, with the salary, the contract hit is $25 million. So that's automatically. So let's say it's $65 million, so we can do easier math. So it's $25 million off of $65 million gives you $40 million. Are you letting Saquon Barkley walk? Saquon said at one point, "I don't want $16 million. I want $16 million." You can franchise tag him for 10.1. Now you can't franchise tag Daniel Jones because that's $32 million. That's a $32 million cap hold. But let's say you franchise Saquon Barkley out of your $40 million, you're down to 30. Are you letting Julian Love walk? Are you letting Darius Slayton walk?
Why wouldn't you? What is Darius Slayton? And I rooted for the guy, but what has Darius Slayton done for you to be like, oh, we need this guy back? Julian Love, hey, we got Dane Belton already on deck. And Pennick was getting a lot of play time anyway. And I don't trust Julian Love in coverage. Deep. So you just named Slayton and Julian Love. I'm not worried about that, bro.
And then people will be like, well, we're going to, and then you have like 38 players on the contract. People are like, what? You know what we're going to do? This is what we're going to do. I got an itch. This is what we're going to do. This is going to be perfect. Every guy that we draft, those 11 guys, are all going to make the squad. That still leaves you at 49 players. And of course, no one's going to get injured.
Well, we already signed a boatload of players to futures contracts, so we got a lot of those players on the roster already. Then with the 11 draft picks, it's only going to cost us about $6 to $7 million to sign those guys. You get $13.5 million back for Galladay. If you actually sign Dexter Lawrence to a contract extension, it actually puts money back on a cap for this year. If you actually restructure Leonard Williams, you can save you a good $10 million this year as well. You guys talk like you know how the cap situation is, where you really don't. It's not like a bank account. It's all in how you structure the contract. Look how the Raiders structured Derek Carr's contract, and they're able to get out that contract with no penalty now. There's ways you can structure a contract for business to save yourself and allow the player to make as much money as he can possible. There's ways to do it. But since it's Daniel Jones, you want to deflect and say there's no way possible because you don't want him here because he's been proving you wrong time and time and time and time and time again.
You don't need any operational cap space. You don't need to go out and find 2 guards, maybe 2 wide receivers, a pass catching tight end, a linebacker, an outside linebacker with coverage skills and some speed, a true defensive end that can hold the edge and maintain his containment against the run. You're not going to have to replace Leonard Williams after next season. You're not going to need a CB2. And if you let Love walk, you're not going to need a strong safety. No. We're fine. Everything's okay. Don't look over there because everything's okay. But if you look at these numbers, they don't make sense for Daniel Jones. They don't make sense for the Giants. That's why everyone says you need to win within the first 4 years of that rookie deal if you take a quarterback in the first round. And that's more so the case if you take him within the top 10. Because he is going to destroy and disrupt your cap exponentially.
Well, are you saying that about Josh Allen? Because Josh Allen deal, I think, is he going to get paid? I don't know. Are you going to say that about Joe Burrow? Are you going to say that about Lamar Jackson? Were you saying that about Kyler Murray? Okay.
Believe it or not.
Oh
kids,
yeah, Justin Herbert. Are you saying that about Justin Herbert?
It's like I said it before. I didn't invent math. I didn't. I know that sounds shocking, but I didn't invent math. And people were like, well, Tim, what are we going to do? We're going to draft a quarterback and set ourselves back? The Giants more than likely are going to take a step back next year. If you look
Why?
at it from the statistical averages, teams that have won by the same amount of points in the same ways that the Giants have won usually do not make the playoffs next year. Again, I didn't invent math. I wish I did, because I'd probably like to get some royalties from math. I did not invent this math. The schedule's going to be harder.
Why? We can't get better because we signed Daniel Jones? We can't get better as a team? I remember guys like you saying that we weren't even going to win more than 4 to 5 games. We're going to be picking in the top 5 again. We're going to get that C.J. Stroud or the boy from Alabama or Anthony Richardson, Will Levis, Hendon Hooker. That's what you said. It looks like you were wrong and the Big Blue Crew was right. So that's my whole ordeal. I found out who your guy's king is. It's this guy here. Online Tim, Big Blue. We know each other. This is not a bash, but this is just a video. I do reaction videos. And this is who you guys sound exactly like. So obviously this is the guy that you get your information from. And this is the guy you say is speaking truths. He's speaking Giants truth. He's speaking facts. He speaks absolute gospel. But who turned out to be wrong and who turned out to be right? The delusional guy here with the Big Blue Crew, Big Pat Sports Talk, because I'm delusional. I'm delusional when I picked us to win 10 games in the beginning of the season. Later on changed it to 11 because 11-6. Shout out to G Nation Inside Sports. That's our moniker here with the Big Blue Crew. I was delusional when I said that we would make the playoffs. I was delusional when I say Daniel Jones will progress this year because he would have a system around him that's pretty good. And he would do some things for us. I was delusional when I say his pocket presence will get better. I was delusional when I say that he'll make some plays this year. I was delusional when I said that the offense would have to run through Saquon Barkley the first couple of weeks because the offensive line would need time to gel. I was delusional when I said that we would beat the Packers. I was delusional when I said we would beat the Ravens. I was delusional when I said we would beat the Titans. I was delusional when I said that we would win 3 games down the stretch and get into the playoffs. I was delusional when I said that this offense would look a lot better with a better scheme. I was delusional when I said that we can win with Daniel Jones. I was delusional when I said that that guy has something about him and he has a moxie about him that when the chips are down that he can pull through for you. And I'm also delusional when I saying that if you get some weapons around this guy in this system for a second year, that we will be okay. I'm just delusional. I'm just a delusional Giants content creator, and my name is Big Pat Sports Talk. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what team football is. I don't know what evaluating a player is. I don't know what evaluating a team scheme is. I'm just stupid. I'm just dumb. And I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But a lot of things that I said turned out to be absolutely correct. And I almost had this record down to a T. Because if it wasn't for a damn tie with the Washington Commanders, we would have been 10-7. Almost had the record to a T. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? But hey, it is what it is, man. This has been New York Giants Full Access. Shout out to online Big Blue Tim. I guess he changed his name to New York Giants Straight Talk. He's going to give you the real. He's going to tell you the things that you want to hear. He's going to give you the players that you want to root for. He's going to say, hey, let's get those guys because, hell, he knows that you guys want them very, very bad. So he's going to continue to do that. And I ain't mad at him. But here with Big Pat Sports Talk, here with the Big Blue Crew, we're going to continue to give you the real. We're going to continue to give you straight talk, real talk, logical talk. I'm not going to pander to you guys. I'm going to keep doing me. I'm going to keep giving you the film reviews, and I'm going to keep giving you my takes on a lot of these things. And a lot of the times, these guys that say that I'm foolish or delusional or stupid, they're the ones that turn out to be wrong. But hey, keep standing your ground, I guess. It is what it is. I was also delusional to say that DJ would get another contract too. And guess what we talking about? DJ getting another contract. Oh boy. It's hard standing your ground, staying 10 toes down and being true to yourself, no matter what the people say. But it's a hard job. Somebody got to do it. So why not me? But hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thank you guys for tuning in to New York Giants Full Access with your boy Big Pat Sports Talk. And until the next episode, you know what it is, man. Peace.
This is a Big Blue Crew production.